This is the Siege at Fort Cooper, the movie. The Second Seminole War is on, and General Scott is headed for Georgia to wipe out some Seminoles near Tampa, Florida. He leaves a contingent of 300 volunteer soldiers at a lake site that we now know as Fort Cooper. He is expected to return in 11 days. Major Mark Anthony Cooper is left in charge of his 5 companies of 1st Georgia Volunteers, plus an artillery company of a few regulars and 1 cannon. He's ordered to set up defenses, erect a blockhouse, and hold his position until relieved. The Withlacoochee Cove. The Withlacoochee Cove, stretching from Inverness through Ocala to Bushnell, is home to the Seminoles. It took only 3 days of activities of U.S. soldiers for them to be discovered. Osceola was not a chief, but a fierce warrior. He led constant attacks on the quickly erected fort, measuring about 200 square feet. Sometimes 500 Seminoles were attacking at once, and the siege lasted 13 days. That's one of his drawings. The soldiers used a balloon to observe the Seminoles, but their colors aided in their camouflage. The colors also shared special meanings in their lives. Major Cooper orders alternate companies outside the picketed fort to detect and engage the Seminoles who wanted the 1 cannon to waste powder. This fierce fighting lasted 2 weeks, with 20 soldiers wounded and 1 killed. General Scott noted that Major Cooper's command was the only one that went outside the breastworks to attack and drive off the enemy during the whole Second Seminole War. The soldiers prevailed, but were down to eating soap. The weapons, a variety of weapons, were used by the soldiers. That knife there was unearthed at the Fort Cooper site. And the weapons used by the Seminole included war clubs, knives, gun stock clubs, bows and arrows, spears and axes. The Europeans introduced muskets and rifles. This is a story of determination with lots of bravery and resolve on both sides. The Seminoles moved further south, and by the end of the Third War, only about 200 remained in Florida. Fort Cooper was used until 1842 as reconnaissance, observation, and dispatch post for several U.S. Army detachments, with orders to penetrate the stronghold of the Withlacoochee Cove and destroy everything calculated to give strength or substance. This is a story great for a screenwriter, and some interested parties could back. The state might be persuaded to supply the pine logs. The original fort with breastworks would be constructed during filming, leaving us with a place of reverence that would equal the Alamo. While the Visitor Center would carry a short video, the entire film could be shown for profit every day. A museum, grill, and gift shop would do well. This would become our #2 tourist attraction, second only to the State Wildlife Park. 182 years ago, Seminoles lived peacefully nearby. So maybe we could interest them in an 8 Seminole reservation with some of the beautiful 710 acres inside the state park. This film will become far-reaching to tourists, even international ones. It could bring millions of dollars of jobs to the struggling economy. And the tourists are not turkeys. Now, who has the capacity to do this kind of thing?
The History Channel.
Say it! The History Channel! Come on! All right. Making this movie could be fun. I was going to put Josh's face right up there, but I decided not. Who wants to be a star?